Welcome back to our channel, Valuable Coins HD, the home for coin collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone who loves discovering the hidden value behind everyday coins. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most fascinating and collectible coins in American history, the United States of America Eisenhower $1 coin from 1972. Now, this is no ordinary dollar coin. It carries not only the image of one of America's greatest leaders but also a story filled with mystery, rarity, and incredible value. You might think a 1972 Eisenhower dollar is just a big, heavy coin that's not used anymore, but hidden among these coins are rare varieties and minting errors that could make one worth an unbelievable fortune. In fact, one specific 1972 Eisenhower $1 coin has been valued at an astonishing $440,000. That's right, almost $500,000 for a single coin that you could easily mistake for just another dollar piece. Let's rewind time for a moment and understand where this remarkable coin came from. The Eisenhower dollar, often called the Ike dollar, was first introduced in 1971. It was the first U.S. $1 coin struck since the Peace Dollar series ended in 1935. This coin honored Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States and the Supreme Allied Commander during World War II. The design of this coin wasn't just patriotic, it was symbolic of strength, unity, and the triumph of American spirit during one of the most critical times in history. On the obverse, or the front side of the coin, you'll find a bold and dignified portrait of President Eisenhower. His profile faces left, carefully sculpted by Frank Gasparo, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at that time. Around the top of the coin are the words, Liberty, and right above Eisenhower's shoulder, the phrase, In God We Trust. Beneath his neck, you'll find the year, 1972, along with a tiny mint mark that tells you where the coin was struck. Coins from this year can carry the marks D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mark at all for Philadelphia. Now, flip the coin over to the reverse side, and you'll see something truly special. The design features a stunning image of an eagle landing on the surface of the moon, its wings spread wide, clutching an olive branch, a symbol of peace. Behind it, the Earth is visible in the distance. This design was inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia, celebrating the first successful moon landing in 1969. It's a powerful tribute to both President Eisenhower and America's achievements in space exploration, two monumental chapters in the nation's story captured in one coin. But here's where things start to get really interesting. The 1972 Eisenhower dollar wasn't made from silver for general circulation. Instead, it was made from a copper-nickel-clad composition. However, special collector's editions known as Silver Ikes were struck at the San Francisco Mint, made of 40% silver. These were produced for collectors who wanted something special, and many of them were preserved in excellent condition. The Philadelphia Mint, on the other hand, struck millions of Eisenhower dollars in 1972, but not all of them are the same. This is where the magic lies. There are three major varieties of the 1972 Philadelphia issue, and these varieties are what make this coin one of the most exciting and valuable in the entire series. Let's break them down. The differences are all found on the reverse side, in the tiny details of the Earth's design, specifically, the shapes of the islands below Florida. Type 1 shows a somewhat crude or flattened Earth design, Type 2 has a much clearer and more detailed version, and Type 3 has a slightly different shape of the land masses. The Type 2 variety, in particular, is the rarest of them all and was accidentally struck with a die originally intended for proof coins from the San Francisco Mint. Only a few of these Type 2 coins escaped into circulation, and that's why collectors are willing to pay enormous amounts for one in perfect condition. Imagine this, you might have a 1972 Eisenhower dollar sitting in an old drawer, and it could be one of these incredibly rare Type 2 varieties without you even realizing it. The details are subtle, but to a trained collector's eye, they're unmistakable. The Type 2 Eisenhower dollar is often called the King of Ikes because of its rarity and desirability. Now, let's talk about condition. Like all collectible coins, the value of an Eisenhower dollar depends heavily on its grade. Coins that have been in circulation typically show scratches, nicks, or dullness, which lower their value. But if you have a coin that looks brand new, sharp details, full mint luster, no wear, then you might be sitting on something very special. Coins graded mint state, MS, 65 or higher are rare, and when combined with the Type II variety, their value skyrockets. Then there are proof coins from San Francisco, with their mirror-like surfaces and frosted designs, which are stunning examples of mint craftsmanship. Even these proofs can become highly valuable if they feature special die varieties or unique errors. Speaking of errors, the Eisenhower dollar series is known for several interesting ones, including double strikes, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, and even missing elements of design. Each of these makes a coin unique, and unique always means collectible, but what really gets collectors excited is the thrill of the hunt, the idea that a rare treasure could be sitting unnoticed in a collection or coin roll somewhere. There are stories of people finding 1972 Eisenhower dollars in near-perfect condition at yard sales, flea markets, or even among loose change saved from decades ago. Some of these coins, after being authenticated and graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, have sold for astonishing sums at auction. If you ever come across one of these coins, especially one from Philadelphia with the Type II reverse, don't rush to spend it or trade it away. Instead, carefully examine the Earth design on the back, pay close attention to the islands beneath Florida. If they look sharp and correctly detailed, you may have something truly valuable in your hands. Collectors often say that the Eisenhower dollar is one of the most misunderstood coins in U.S. history. Because of its size and weight, it wasn't very popular for daily use, so many people simply stored them away. Little did they know that decades later, these very coins would become prized possessions worth thousands, and sometimes, even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. There's something poetic about the Eisenhower dollar. It represents a period of bold innovation, national pride, and the American dream, reaching for the stars, quite literally. It connects the leadership of a wartime general turned president with the daring achievements of space explorers. And that's what makes this coin more than just a piece of money, it's a piece of history. So, if you've got a 1972 Eisenhower $1 coin, take a close look. Check the mint mark, study the details of the Earth on the reverse, and assess the overall condition. You might want to weigh it to see if it's a silver version, or even send it for grading if it looks exceptional. Who knows? That old coin could be your golden ticket to a small fortune, and now, the moment everyone has been waiting for, the incredible value reveal. Among the rarest and most valuable of all Eisenhower $1 coins, one extraordinary 1972 Eisenhower dollar has been valued at an unbelievable $440,000. Yes, you heard that right, $440,000 for a single Eisenhower dollar coin. That's the kind of story every collector dreams about, turning an ordinary-looking coin into a life-changing discovery. So before you overlook that heavy old dollar coin, take a closer look. Because your next big treasure might already be sitting in your collection, waiting to be discovered. Today, we are diving deep into the story of a coin that represents history, power, and mystery, the United States of America Eisenhower $1 coin from 1974. This coin might look ordinary to the untrained eye, but if you hold one, you could be holding something far more valuable than you ever imagined. And yes, by the end of this video, you'll discover how one rare 1974 Eisenhower $1 coin was valued at a mind-blowing $450,000. Let's begin this exciting journey back in time. The Eisenhower dollar, affectionately known as the Ike dollar, was first introduced in 1971 and continued production through 1978. It was created to honor one of America's most beloved heroes, President Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States and the brilliant World War II general who led Allied forces to victory in Europe. The Eisenhower dollar wasn't just a coin, it was a symbol of leadership, progress, and the space-age spirit of the early 1970s. On the obverse side, you'll find the bold and proud profile of President Eisenhower, designed by the U.S. Mint's chief engraver, Frank Gasparo. His expression is determined and confident, representing strength and leadership. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions, Liberty, at the top and, In God We Trust, just above the date 1974. Depending on where your coin was minted, you might find a tiny mint mark, D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no mint mark at all for Philadelphia. These small letters can make a huge difference in the coin's rarity and value. Now, flip the coin over and prepare to be amazed. The reverse of the Eisenhower dollar is one of the most inspiring designs in American numismatic history. It features a majestic bald eagle landing on the surface of the moon, wings outstretched, clutching an olive branch, a powerful symbol of peace. Above it floats planet Earth, perfectly round and detailed, showing the United States as if seen from space. This design was based on the Apollo 11 mission insignia, commemorating mankind's first landing on the moon in 1969. That connection between a great American leader and the greatest American space achievement makes the Eisenhower dollar truly special. The 1974 Eisenhower dollar is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition for circulation coins. However, collector editions, known as Silver Ikes, were struck at the San Francisco Mint and made of 40% silver. These special coins were sold in mint packaging to collectors and remain some of the most beautiful and desirable examples of the series. But what makes the 1974 Eisenhower dollar so fascinating isn't just its design, it's the variations, the minting errors, and the unexpected discoveries that have turned this coin into a numismatic legend. In 1974, millions of Eisenhower dollars were minted, but as with many coins, not all were created equally. The tiniest variations in minting, from the die used to strike the coin, to the planchet, or even the striking pressure, can result in coins that are vastly more valuable than the rest. Among collectors, the hunt for these special varieties is part of the thrill. One of the most notable aspects of the 1974 Eisenhower dollar is its transition period. The following year, in 1975, the Mint began preparing for the bicentennial design that would commemorate America's 200th birthday. During this transition, several experimental patterns and test strikes were created, and some of those prototypes are believed to have been struck using 1974 dies. These rare pieces, if discovered, are considered priceless by collectors because of their historical significance and mystery. Then come the minting errors, the little mistakes that make a huge difference in the coin world. Some 1974 Eisenhower dollars have been found with double dies, where the design appears slightly doubled, especially noticeable in the lettering or date. Others show off-center strikes, broad strikes, or missing elements from the die wear. There are even coins struck on the wrong planchet, for example, a dollar coin accidentally struck on a $half blank. These types of errors are like hidden Easter eggs for collectors, and their rarity can send their prices skyrocketing. Condition, of course, plays a major role in value. Circulated Eisenhower dollars are fairly common and might be worth only their face value, but coins in uncirculated or mint state condition can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially when paired with a rare variety or minting error. Coins graded mint state, MS 65 and higher, those with sharp details, bright luster, and virtually no scratches, are the ones that collectors go crazy for. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. The San Francisco Mint struck a number of proof versions of the 1974 Eisenhower dollar, meant specifically for collectors. These proofs have a mirror-like finish, with frosted designs that practically glow under the light. A perfect proof coin, especially one struck in silver and graded PR70, can reach extraordinary prices in the collector market, but that's not all. There are whispers and confirmed reports of rare 1974 Eisenhower dollars that were struck using experimental silver-clad planchets meant for bicentennial test runs. These coins were never officially released for circulation, and only a few are believed to exist today. Because of their extreme rarity and unique background, one of these 1974 Eisenhower $1 coins has been valued at an astounding sum that has shocked the coin collecting world. Think about it, a coin that most people overlook, a coin that was once just pocket change, could today be worth enough to change someone's life forever. The Eisenhower dollar has become one of the most collectible coins in modern U.S. history because of stories just like this, stories of discovery, luck, and the thrill of finding something truly special. So, if you happen to have a 1974 Eisenhower dollar lying around in your collection, here's what you should do. First, look for the mint mark, whether it's from Denver, San Francisco, or Philadelphia. Then, carefully examine both sides under good lighting or even a magnifier. Check for any doubling on the lettering, any signs of an off-center strike, or unusual metal composition. If your coin seems different, it could be one of the rare varieties or error coins that collectors dream about. Next, if you think your coin looks pristine, it might be worth having it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These grading companies will certify its condition, confirm any varieties or errors, and give your coin an official market value, which could end up being much more than you expect. There's a special feeling that comes from holding an Eisenhower dollar. It's big, solid, and beautifully designed, a true piece of Americana. It reminds us of an era when the United States was reaching for the stars, both literally and figuratively. Each coin tells a story, of the past, of progress, and sometimes, of unexpected fortune. And now comes the part you've been waiting for, the unbelievable value reveal. Among the rarest and most extraordinary discoveries of the 1974 Eisenhower $1 coin, one specimen has been valued at an incredible $450,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $450,000 for a single Eisenhower dollar coin. Just imagine, a coin that many people ignored for years could now be worth nearly $500,000. That's what makes coin collecting so fascinating. Every coin holds a mystery, and every discovery can rewrite history. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating history of one of the most iconic and powerful coins ever produced by the United States Mint, the Eisenhower $1 coin from 1971. This coin marked the beginning of a bold new era in American coinage, and what makes it truly special is that hidden among the millions minted lies a rare version so valuable it could make you gasp. By the end of this video, you'll learn why one 1971 Eisenhower dollar was valued at an astonishing $400,000. The 1971 Eisenhower dollar is more than just a piece of metal, it's a symbol of honor, history, and American pride. This was the first U.S. dollar coin produced since 1935, following the famous peace dollar. It was created to pay tribute to Dwight D. Eisenhower, the great five-star general of World War II and the 34th President of the United States. But that's not all. This coin also honors the incredible Apollo 11 moon landing, one of humanity's greatest achievements. So, in one coin, we have the spirit of leadership and the dream of space exploration united forever. Let's start with its appearance. The obverse side of the Eisenhower dollar features a bold, dignified portrait of President Eisenhower. The design was crafted by chief engraver Frank Gasparo, whose artistry brought the coin to life. You can clearly see the strong jawline, the focused eyes, and the confident presence of a man who shaped modern history. Around his portrait are the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date, 1971. If you look carefully near the date, you'll notice a small mint mark. It could be a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no mint mark at all, meaning it was struck in Philadelphia. The reverse of this coin is breathtaking. It features an eagle landing on the moon, its wings stretched proudly, clutching an olive branch of peace. In the background, the Earth can be seen floating in space, a reminder of our planet's fragility and the triumph of human achievement. The words, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and $1 circle the edges. This stunning design was inspired by the Apollo 11 mission emblem, symbolizing courage, exploration, and unity. Now, here's where it gets even more fascinating. The 1971 Eisenhower dollar was the first of its kind, and that means there were experiments, test strikes, and special versions made before and during its release. There were two main types, the copper-nickel-clad coins for general circulation and the 40% silver-clad versions that were made exclusively for collectors. The silver ones were minted at the San Francisco Mint and sold in special blue envelopes or brown boxes, which collectors still treasure today. Most 1971 Eisenhower dollars you'll find in circulation are made of copper and nickel, giving them a silvery appearance but no real silver content. However, the 40% silver versions are where things start to get interesting and valuable. The San Francisco Mint struck both proof and uncirculated versions, and some of these were struck with extraordinary sharpness, mirror-like surfaces, and deep frost on the design, giving them a stunning contrast that collectors call deep cameo. But the story doesn't end there. The 1971 Eisenhower dollar is also famous for one of the most intriguing minting mysteries in U.S. coin history, the so-called 1971 silver peg leg Ike and other rare varieties. In some coins, small details of the design are missing due to die polishing or mint errors. In others, the lettering or mint mark appears doubled, or the design appears shifted because of an off-center strike. There are even a few known examples where the coin was struck on the wrong metal planchet entirely, mistakes that transform an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Imagine finding a 1971 Eisenhower dollar that doesn't look quite like the rest. Maybe the details on the eagle seem different, or the lettering seems doubled. These are clues that you might be holding a rare variety, and depending on its condition, it could be worth far more than its face value. Speaking of condition, the state of preservation plays a huge role in determining the value of any Eisenhower dollar. Circulated coins, those that have been used in everyday transactions, are worth around $1 or $2. But if you have an uncirculated coin, especially one graded mint state 65 or higher, the value can jump into the hundreds or even thousands. Coins that have been preserved in their original government packaging or proof sets are particularly prized. Then, there are the silver-clad proof coins. The 1971 silver proof Eisenhower dollar, in perfect condition, can fetch hundreds of dollars. However, the most valuable examples are those with unique characteristics, errors, prototype strikes, or rare die varieties. These are the coins that collectors dream about, the ones that turn into stories whispered among numismatists for decades. One of the most famous Eisenhower dollar discoveries involved a small number of coins believed to have been struck using prototype silver-clad planchets before official production began. These coins, never meant for circulation, somehow escaped the mint and found their way into private hands. Because of their rarity, authenticity, and historical importance, they've become legends in the coin world, and their prices have reached unbelievable levels. Now, let's talk about the hunt. Imagine going through your old coin collection or a box of change that's been sitting in the attic for years. Among the old quarters, nickels, and pennies, you find a large, heavy dollar coin with the proud face of Eisenhower staring back at you. You flip it over, and the eagle on the moon catches the light just right. You notice a small S mint mark, and the coin feels a bit heavier. Could it be silver? Could it be rare? The thrill of that discovery is what keeps collectors searching year after year. So how do you check your coin? Start by looking at the edge. If it shows two distinct metal colors, a copper core and a silver outer layer, it's likely a regular clad coin. But if it looks uniformly silver, it could be the 40% silver version. Next, weigh the coin. Regular clad Eisenhower dollars weigh about 22.68 grams, while silver-clad coins weigh around 24.59 grams. That small difference can reveal a lot, and don't forget the details. Look at the lettering, the mint mark, and the overall strike. Any unusual feature could point to a rare variety or minting error. If you find something special, it's worth having it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies can confirm authenticity, assign a grade, and give you a certification that can make your coin even more valuable to collectors. The Eisenhower dollar represents a unique period in American coinage. It's the last large-size dollar coin ever made for circulation, marking the end of an era before the smaller Susan B. Anthony dollar came in 1979. For many collectors, holding an Eisenhower dollar feels like holding a piece of American pride, strong, bold, and filled with history. Now, here comes the most exciting part of our story, the value revelation. Among all the known 1971 Eisenhower $1 coins, one rare version with extraordinary characteristics was discovered and valued by experts at a jaw-dropping $400,000. Yes, you heard that right, $400,000 for a single Eisenhower dollar coin. Just imagine that. A coin that was once worth only $1 in your pocket could today be worth enough to buy a luxury home or pay for your child's college education. That's the magic of coin collecting, hidden treasures waiting to be found in the most unexpected places. So before you spend that old Eisenhower dollar or let it sit forgotten in a drawer, take a closer look. You never know, your coin might be one of the rarest and most valuable pieces in American numismatic history. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare and valuable US coins, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our next discovery. Share this video with your friends, coin lovers, and collectors. Who knows, someone out there might be holding the next big treasure. Keep collecting, keep exploring, and remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story can be worth $400,000.